You may not believe it, but this is the look of this room after it was complete. My husband and I decided to do this work ourselves after we got a quote of 17,000 US dollars. Yes, to do our upper level of the building, or rather our house. So we went on to do some research ourselves, and we decided that we can do it. And this is what happens when you're on the same page. We looked at the math wasn't mathing, and we were like, no way we are paying 17,000 for this to be done. We can do it, others have done it, and we are not exceptional. So here we go, word for word how we did it. So this is the look. We had the carpet in here, so we decided to get rid of the carpet and get started with one room at a time. So this room sits almost empty all the time unless we have guests over. That's when we clean it up and make sure it's all ready for our guests. And this is what it looks like with the old carpet, and you'll see the transformation when it's all done. So first things first, let us get started. If you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Claudine, and I bring lifestyle motivation and a few vlogs. So this is what we are going to be working with, and just stay until the end of it. We started out with cutting the carpet. The cutting part is not really difficult. Just make sure you cut it into smaller pieces that you can roll into different batches, and this makes it easier, making sure you have a sharp knife. And you see my husband has some knee pads. You don't want to have abrasions when you're finished. Knee pads are a must because you're going to be on your knees a lot from this process from beginning to end. So make sure you have the best supplies possible. I'll list them at the end of it. And these are part of the carpets we've already removed, and we're just going to go ahead and roll them into different smaller pieces so we are able to transport them out of the house. And I had to work too, okay? So that's me just helping with rolling up the carpet after my husband has cut them out. Cutting them away across is easier, so you can just roll them into longer pieces. And after you roll them, it's much easier to move them from point A to point B. You can tie them if you want so they don't unravel. We didn't tie them, but we were able to keep them in one position. And you have to have some fun while working, otherwise it's gonna be a long journey. This is me just holding up part of the rolled carpet that I'm going to help get out. The next thing we worked on was this padding. The padding was easy actually. It was a little dusty, as you can imagine, because this carpet has been in place for the last 9 years. So it's had its own wear and tear. I made sure I rolled them much into smaller pieces and enjoying while working towards that. And at the corner, there were all these nails. I believe these were to hold the carpet down. So that tool my husband is using is very handy. I don't know what it's called, but I'll link it down. And that helped remove the nails. And this is the floor. We've already done most of the removal, and we're just going to go ahead and remove these staples. So the padding was stapled down, and I had this cute little staple remover that my husband bought, and it was just literally one scoop and the staple was out. And here we're just putting the nail boxes, the nails and the woods into a box so they don't injure anybody. And this is the floor pretty much done in removal process, and we put the padding in trash bags and just to help dispose them easily. And of course you have to do the floor prep. So this is my husband just helping sweep the floor. We first went through using this hard brush, and that kind of helps loosen the dust and make sure everything is out. And then we headed to Home Depot for our supplies. We were very confused on what we wanted to do. We took a look at some of the stuffs we had. Our goal was to do laminate or vinyl, and we were lucky to get this associate that was very, very helpful. He walked us through the process. He told us the pros and the cons of each, and then when that was done, we settled for the vinyl laminate. No, the vinyl planks. And they didn't have the one we were looking for in stock in this store. So we ended up going to a different Home Depot after he told us exactly which store to go to, which was nearby. And these are some of the muffler paddings. We are not going to use this for the bedrooms, but if we get to the game room area where there's lots and lots of traction, then we're going to go ahead and use that. We also gathered some supplies, like this kit here came with all that we needed for that work. We also grabbed a couple of padding, and this is us just grabbing some of the supplies. And of course, we are back home with this Bolton oak that we decided to settle for. So this is the installation piece. It has different things. We had a knife that we used. We had a measuring tape angled, and the process was very simple. Making sure we had the spacers when we got started. So there's a trick to this which my husband taught me. So you make sure you angle it when you're connecting the two pieces together. And of course you have to measure and cut to ensure whichever piece you're gonna use fits well. This is an easy process to break it. You don't have to use a lot of energy. As you can see, he's angling it and then you just press it down. Very easy process. If I tell you, this is our first rodeo doing this, and we were very, very pleased with how we did. We worked together. We made sure we were following the simple instructions that we watched on YouTube, and this worked so well. Look at this. We're almost finished with this room. We just have one strip there, and then we're gonna go ahead and work in the closet. And of course, you have to stay hydrated because this work is not very easy, but it's doable. And then we headed back to Home Depot, and our little girl had to choose the color of the paint that she wanted. One thing with Home Depot is that they have a chart over there for you, which makes it easier to choose what you want. And we needed some tools as well. We needed a power saw that we are going to use to cut part of the trims. We also needed a nail gun to help us drive the screws in. And of course, some scotch tape for the walls when you're preparing for it to paint. And we had some extra batteries as well for this specific tool that we bought. So now we are working on the trims. It was a little difficult the first time. We wasted a lot of the trims because we didn't know which angles to cut. And when we got that figured out, we were rolling like crazy. So this is really the completed room. Look at that floor. Looks professionally done. And guess what? It's my husband and I who did this with some help from our little kiddos. And this is really the complete process. Just making sure the trims are in the correct way, and voila! Oh my goodness, you won't believe it. This color is just the best one that she chose, and she enjoys having this room. She enjoys going in there every day after school, and she just loves having her own room. So if it's your first time thinking about doing a project in your house, you can do it. You just need to have a good support system. Thank you very much for joining me in this journey. Bye!